Most goals in a calendar year. Lionel Messi, 91 goals in 2012. In 2012, Lionel Messi scored an astonishing 91 goals in just one calendar year. That includes official matches for Barcelona and Argentina. It's hard to even imagine how consistent that is. Nearly 2 goals every week for a whole year. Why is it unbreakable? Football today is faster, more physical, and teams rotate players often. Defenders study star players, fixtures are congested, and injuries are more common. Even elite scorers like Haaland or Mbappe would struggle to hit this number without rest or injury. Messi didn't just break the record, he shattered it. And more than a decade later, no one's come close. Most goals in a competitive match. Azadima 149-0 SO Le Mans. This is the most lopsided scoreline in football history. 149 goals to nil in an official competitive match. But here's the twist, it wasn't a normal game. So Le Mans, angry at a refereeing decision in a previous match, intentionally scored 149 own goals in protest. Why is it unbreakable? Because no real football match will ever be allowed to descend into farce like that again. FIFA and national federations now have rules that would instantly abandon the match, punish the clubs, and ban players involved. It's a one-time protest that became an accidental world record, never to be repeated. Most goals in a single UEFA Champions League campaign. Cristiano Ronaldo, 17 goals. In the 2013-14 season, Cristiano Ronaldo scored 17 goals in a single UEFA Champions League campaign, the most ever in the tournament's history. This wasn't against weak opposition either. He was scoring in the group stages, the knockouts, and even the semi-finals, all while Real Madrid marched to La Decima, their 10th Champions League title. Why is it unbreakable? Because Champions League games are limited. Even if a team goes all the way to the final, there are only 13 matches max. That means a player would need to average more than a goal per game against the best teams in Europe, consistently. And most strikers can't do that even in domestic leagues. Ronaldo hit a level of efficiency, endurance, and consistency that hasn't been matched since. Most goals as a defender in football history. Dutch legend Ronald Koeman scored 253 goals in his career. While playing primarily as a centre-back, most of his goals came from free kicks and penalties, where he was clinical, especially during his time at Barcelona. But even from open play, Koeman had a rocket of a shot and often ventured forward when needed. Why is it unbreakable? Modern defenders rarely take penalties or free kicks anymore. Those roles usually go to midfielders or attackers. Add to that the tactical shift in modern football, where defenders are expected to stay deep and focus more on distribution than attacking. It's hard to imagine any defender today coming close to even half of Koeman's goal tally. Youngest World Cup hat-trick scorer. In the 1958 World Cup semi-final, a 17-year-old Pele scored a hat-trick against France. At an age when most players are still in youth academies, Pele was dominating on the biggest stage in world football. Why is it unbreakable? Modern players rarely make it into senior national squads at that age, let alone start knockout matches at a World Cup. Add to that the pressure, the quality of defenders today, and limited squad sizes, and it's easy to see why no teenager has come close since. Pele's achievement still stands as a symbol of prodigious, once-in-a-lifetime talent. Longest domestic unbeaten run. Under Brendan Rodgers, Celtic went 69 domestic matches unbeaten across the Scottish Premiership, domestic cups, and the Scottish League Cup. That means they didn't lose a single domestic game for well over a year, a level of consistency that's almost unheard of. Why is it unbreakable? Even in less competitive leagues, teams slip up, rest players, or face random upsets. But Celtic maintained their form through tight fixtures, cup finals, and weekly league pressure. In most leagues, this kind of dominance is near impossible due to the depth of competition and squad rotation. It's the longest domestic unbeaten run in British football history, and still one of the longest in European top-flight football. Most FIFA World Cups won by a player. Pele is the only player in football history to win 3 FIFA World Cups. He lifted the trophy in 1958 as a teenager, again in 1962, though injured mid-tournament, and then starred in Brazil's legendary 1970 team. Why is it unbreakable? Winning even one World Cup is rare. The tournament only happens every 4 years, and players often only have 3 or 4 chances in their entire career. To win 3, a player needs a long international career, a golden generation of teammates, and success at the very highest level multiple times. No one since has matched it. Not Messi, not Ronaldo, not even Maradona. Best defensive record in a league season. In the 2004-05 season, Jose Mourinho's Chelsea conceded just 15 goals in 38 matches, the fewest ever in a full-length season across Europe's top 5 leagues. Led by legends like John Terry, Ricardo Carvalho, and Petr Cech, Chelsea kept 25 clean sheets and shut down nearly every attack that came their way. Why is it unbreakable? Modern football is faster and more attacking than ever. Teams rotate more, play higher lines, and face more dangerous forwards than in 2005. Even top defenses today concede around 25 to 30 goals a season. To match Chelsea's record, a team would need nearly perfect concentration, elite defenders, and 0 slip-ups across 10 months. That kind of consistency just doesn't happen anymore. Most goals scored in 10 minutes. In a Bundesliga match for Bayern Munich in 2015, Robert Lewandowski came off the bench and scored 5 goals in just 9 minutes against Wolfsburg. He wasn't just finishing tap-ins either. There were volleys, long shots, and even a bicycle kick. Wolfsburg didn't have time to react before the scoreboard kept changing. Why is it unbreakable? Scoring 1 goal is hard, 2 in a short span is rare, but 5 in under 10 minutes? At a professional level? It's madness. No player before or since has ever scored that many, that quickly, against a top-tier opponent in a competitive match. Lewandowski didn't just have the finishing, he had the rhythm, the timing, and the killer instinct. It's a moment of football perfection that may never be repeated. Most World Cup titles by a country. No nation has lifted the World Cup more times than Brazil, with 5 titles: 1958, 1962, 1970, 1994, and 2002. They've produced legends across generations, from Pele and Garrincha to Romario, Ronaldo, Ronaldinho, and more recently, Neymar. Brazil has always blended flair, skill, and footballing identity like no other nation. Why is it unbreakable? Some teams have come close. Germany and Italy each have 4, but football is more competitive than ever. With more nations rising in quality and every World Cup being incredibly hard to win, it's tough for anyone to reach or surpass 5 titles. It's not just a record, it's a symbol of Brazil's lasting legacy in the game. FIFA World Cup all-time top scorer, German striker Miroslav Klose holds the record for the most goals scored in FIFA World Cup history, 16 goals across 4 tournaments. He passed Brazilian legend Ronaldo in 2014 and helped Germany win the World Cup that year. Why is it hard to break? The World Cup only happens every 4 years, and players usually only have 2 to 4 chances at it. You need to be fit, selected, and in form across multiple tournaments. That kind of consistency is incredibly rare. But this record could be broken. Kylian Mbappe already has 12 goals in just 2 tournaments. He's only 26 and could easily play in 2 more World Cups. Even Lionel Messi, with 13 World Cup goals, is very close. However, whether he plays in the 2026 World Cup, we will have to wait and see. So while Klose's 16 still stands, Mbappe and Messi are closing in fast, and one of them might just become the new king of World Cup goals. Longest unbeaten run in all competitions, top European football. Between August 2023 and May 2024, Bayer Leverkusen, under the guidance of Xabi Alonso, went an astonishing 51 consecutive matches without a loss in all competitions. This incredible run spanned the Bundesliga, the DFB Pokal, German Cup, and the UEFA Europa League. Their streak included dominant victories and hard-fought draws, showcasing remarkable consistency and resilience across Germany and Europe. The run finally came to an end in the Europa League final. Why is it unbreakable? Top European clubs face elite competition every 3 to 4 days across multiple fronts. Injuries, squad rotation, extensive travel, and player fatigue make even short unbeaten runs incredibly difficult. To go nearly 9 straight months without a single defeat at that level, maintaining peak performance through domestic leagues, cups, and continental competitions is extraordinarily rare. No team in Europe has matched or surpassed this level of consistency in the modern era. Side note, the global record. Outside of Europe, Al Ahly of Egypt holds one of the longest verified unbeaten runs in world football, going 55 games without a loss between 2004 and 2005 across all competitions. While the level of opposition may differ from top European leagues, the sheer consistency demonstrated by Al Ahly remains historic and truly deserves recognition. Longest time without conceding a goal. Club Brugge's legendary goalkeeper, Danny Verlinden, went an astonishing 1,390 minutes without conceding a goal. This incredible streak spanned 16 matches in the Belgian top flight, showcasing unparalleled defensive solidity and goalkeeping excellence. Verlinden's consistency was a cornerstone of Club Brugge's success during that period. Why is it nearly unbreakable? Achieving such a prolonged period without conceding a goal in professional football is immensely challenging. It requires not only a goalkeeper at the absolute peak of their powers, but also an exceptionally disciplined and consistent defensive unit. Factors like injuries, squad rotation, the varying quality of opposition in different competitions, and the sheer randomness of football, deflections, penalties, individual errors, make every minute without conceding a monumental effort. While Edwin van der Sar's 1,311 minutes in the demanding Premier League is incredibly impressive, Verlinden's slightly longer record stands as the benchmark for sustained goalkeeping excellence across European leagues. Side note, global record, the undisputed world record for the longest time without conceding a goal belongs to Mazzaropi in Brazil, who went an astonishing 1,816 minutes for Vasco da Gama in the 1977 to 1978 season. This remarkable feat, equivalent to over 20 full matches, highlights an incredible level of consistency on a global scale. Youngest World Cup winner. In 1958, Pele made history by winning the FIFA World Cup at just 17 years and 249 days old. Not only was he part of the squad, he played a massive role, scoring a hat-trick in the semi-final against France and 2 goals in the final against Sweden. He wasn't just a kid making up the numbers, he was the star of the tournament at barely 18. Why is it unbreakable? Modern World Cup squads rarely include 17-year-olds, especially in starting roles. Even today's best young talents, like Jude Bellingham or Lamine Yamal, are usually eased in gradually. To start, score multiple goals and lift the trophy at that age is beyond rare, and Pele did it all under global pressure as the world watched in awe. No one has come close since, and with how professional football has evolved, this record is almost certain to stay his forever. Largest semi-final win in World Cup history. In the 2014 World Cup semi-final, Germany demolished Brazil 7-1 in one of the most shocking and unforgettable matches in football history, and it happened in Brazil, in front of a stunned home crowd in Belo Horizonte. Germany scored 5 goals in the first 29 minutes, leaving the tournament hosts completely shell-shocked. It was Brazil's worst defeat ever and the largest margin of victory ever seen in a World Cup semi-final. Why is it unbreakable? World Cup semi-finals are supposed to be close, the four best teams in the world facing off. A 7-1 scoreline at this stage is unimaginable. No semi-final before or since has come close. It wasn't just a loss, it was a global sporting trauma, and the sheer scale of it is unlikely to ever be repeated again in such a high-stakes match. Most goals in a single World Cup tournament, French striker Just Fontaine scored a mind-blowing 13 goals in just 6 matches during the 1958 World Cup in Sweden. No player has ever scored more goals in a single edition of the tournament. Fontaine wasn't even France's first-choice striker before the tournament, but once he got on the pitch, he couldn't stop scoring. His record includes multiple braces, a hat-trick, and a 4-goal haul in the third-place playoff. Why is it unbreakable? Most modern top scorers in a World Cup manage 6 to 8 goals, and that's considered exceptional. Fontaine's 13 came without group stage inflation or a weak path. It was pure finishing skill in an old-school, attacking tournament. Players today face tighter defenses, more tactical discipline, and fewer goal-heavy games. No one has reached double digits since 1970, which makes 13 goals in a single World Cup almost untouchable. Greatest home record in football history. From February 2002 to April 2011, Jose Mourinho went 150 consecutive home league matches without suffering a single defeat across 4 different clubs: Porto, Chelsea, Inter Milan, and Real Madrid. This legendary streak lasted 9 years across 4 leagues and some of the most competitive environments in the world. Whether it was Stamford Bridge, the Dragão, the San Siro, or the Bernabeu, Mourinho's team simply didn't lose at home in the league. Why is it unbreakable? Football has changed, home advantage is smaller, and even top clubs are vulnerable to surprise losses. Managing multiple clubs while maintaining that kind of consistency at home is nearly impossible today. Tactical brilliance, strong squads, and relentless mentality made Mourinho's teams almost unbeatable on home turf. No manager has come close before or since. Mourinho's home record is not just unbeaten, it's untouchable. Only player to score in 6 different UEFA European Championships. Cristiano Ronaldo made history by becoming the only player to score in 6 different European Championships: 2004, 2008, 2012, 2016, 2020, and 2024. This remarkable feat spans over 2 decades of scoring at the highest international level, showcasing unparalleled longevity and consistent elite performance. He is also the all-time leading scorer in Euros history, with 14 goals in the tournament as of Euro 2024's conclusion. Why is it unbreakable? Most players don't even get selected for 5 tournaments, let alone 6, and even fewer manage to score in all of them. To achieve this, a player needs an extraordinary combination of factors. Exceptional longevity, maintaining peak physical condition and world-class form for over 2 decades is almost unheard of in professional football. Unwavering fitness. The demands of playing at the highest level for so long across numerous international tournaments are immense. Consistent top form, staying relevant and impactful enough to score goals at successive European Championships, which only occur every 4 years, requires continuous adaptation and skill. Ronaldo's unprecedented mix of talent, professionalism, and insatiable drive makes this a record that will likely stand for generations. It is arguably the most impressive testament to his enduring career. Most UEFA Champions League titles in a single decade: 17, 2018, 2022. Between 2014 and 2022, Real Madrid won the UEFA Champions League 5 times in 9 seasons, making them the most dominant European club of the 2010s and early 2020s. This stretch includes an unprecedented three-peat from 2016 to 2018 under Zinedine Zidane and another comeback-laden win in 2022 under Carlo Ancelotti. Why is it unbreakable? The Champions League is filled with Europe's best, and knockout football is brutally unforgiving. Winning it once takes a perfect season. Winning it 5 times in less than a decade is nearly impossible in the modern era. It requires elite squads, mental toughness, and longevity, things few clubs can maintain over that span. No other club has come close to this level of success in one era of Champions League football. Most goals scored by a goalkeeper. Rogerio Ceni is not only one of the most loyal one-club players, but he's also the highest scoring goalkeeper in football history, with 131 career goals. He scored from free kicks and penalties, often with the skill of a top attacking midfielder. He was São Paulo's first-choice penalty taker for much of his career, and even curled in direct free kicks with insane technique. Why is it unbreakable? Goalkeepers are rarely allowed to leave their box, let alone take free kicks or penalties. Ceni had a unique role that's no longer trusted to keepers in modern football. With today's tactics and pressure, no top team would consistently allow their keeper to take on that responsibility. It wasn't just a fluke. Ceni perfected the art over 1,200 games and no one has come close since. His 131 goals make him a legend in 2 positions at once. Unbeaten in a Premier League season. In the 2003-04 Premier League season, Arsenal became the only team in Premier League history to go an entire 38-game league season unbeaten, with 26 wins and 12 draws. This legendary squad, led by Arsène Wenger and captained by Patrick Vieira, featured stars like Thierry Henry, Dennis Bergkamp, Robert Pires, and Sol Campbell. Their combination of flair, strength, and consistency earned them the nickname the Invincibles. Why is it unbreakable? The Premier League is one of the most competitive leagues in the world, with intense physicality, surprise results, and no easy games. Top clubs now balance European competitions, domestic cups, and injuries, making sustained perfection extremely difficult. Even title-winning sides lose at least once. Staying unbeaten over 10 months across 38 high-pressure games is an achievement that still hasn't been matched. No other team has done it since, and Arsenal remains the only invincible side in modern Premier League history. Most trophies won by a player. Lionel Messi holds the record for the most official trophies won by a footballer, with an astonishing 46 major titles across club and international football. This makes him the most decorated player in the history of the sport. Messi has achieved this incredible haul across a 20-plus year career with FC Barcelona, Paris Saint-Germain, Inter Miami, and the Argentina national team, consistently performing at the absolute pinnacle of the sport. Why is it unbreakable? The sheer volume of trophies speaks to Messi's unparalleled consistency, peak performance, and remarkable longevity in a physically demanding sport. Even other all-time greats, including Cristiano Ronaldo, are several trophies behind this monumental tally. No younger player currently appears likely to match both Messi's sustained longevity and his unprecedented silverware collection. This record may very well stand for generations, or longer. Biggest win in international football history. On April 11, 2001, Australia beat American Samoa 31-0 in a FIFA World Cup qualifier, making it the largest victory ever in international football. The match featured 16 goals in the first half, a new FIFA record for most goals in a single match by a team. American Samoa, ranked near the bottom of FIFA's rankings at the time, had to field mostly teenagers due to visa issues, while Australia fielded several top-tier professionals. Why is it unbreakable? FIFA changed the qualification structure after this match to avoid such mismatches. The skill gap today still exists, but regulations and professionalism prevent this kind of blowout from happening again. Most goals in an international match. In the same 31-0 World Cup qualifier between Australia and American Samoa, striker Archie Thompson scored an unbelievable 13 goals, the most ever by a player in a single international match. Thompson was relentless from start to finish, breaking through the defense with ease and setting a record that still stands today. Why is it unbreakable? International football rarely sees blowouts like this anymore, let alone one player being allowed to stay on the pitch and score 13. Modern squads would likely sub off any player after a hat-trick or 4 to 5 goals to avoid disrespecting opponents. This was a perfect storm, a massive mismatch, a relentless striker, and no mercy, making Archie Thompson's 13 goals a one-of-a-kind record in world football. Most clean sheets in UEFA Champions League history. German goalkeeping legend Manuel Neuer now holds the record for the most clean sheets in UEFA Champions League history, with 60 shutouts across his illustrious European career with Schalke 04 and Bayern Munich. Neuer consistently performs at the highest level, having propelled himself into the spotlight with Schalke before becoming a cornerstone of Bayern Munich's success for over a decade. His revolutionary sweeper-keeper style, combined with exceptional reflexes and commanding presence, has made him one of the most influential goalkeepers of his generation. Why is it nearly unbreakable? To break this record, a goalkeeper needs a confluence of extremely rare attributes and circumstances: exceptional longevity and consistency, continuous elite club involvement, physical and mental fortitude, and competitive landscape. This record is a testament to Neuer's unprecedented durability, the sustained excellence of his teams, and his own world-class shot-stopping and revolutionary goalkeeping style. It will likely stand for a very long time. Most spectators at a football match. The 1950 FIFA World Cup final between Brazil and Uruguay was held at the Maracanã Stadium in Rio de Janeiro, where a staggering 199,854 spectators packed into the stadium, the largest official attendance for a football match in history. This match, known as the Maracanazo, ended in a shocking 2-1 victory for Uruguay, silencing the nearly 200,000 Brazilian fans in attendance. Why is it unbreakable? Modern stadiums have strict safety regulations, seating limits, and capacity caps. No venue today comes close to holding 200,000 fans. The Maracana has since been renovated, reducing its capacity to under 80,000. That 1950 crowd was from a different era, one that won't ever return. This record is more than safe. It's cemented in football history. Only president to play in an international football match. In 2018, George Weah, the sitting president of Liberia, played in an official international friendly for his country, at the age of 51. Weah, a former Ballon d'Or winner and one of Africa's greatest ever players, took to the pitch one last time in a match against Nigeria. He wore the iconic number 14 shirt, played nearly 80 minutes, and was even named captain. Why is it unbreakable? No other head of state has ever played an official international match while in office. Today, even retired players don't return for ceremonial matches like this, let alone sitting presidents. This wasn't just football, it was history, and it's extremely unlikely anyone will ever do it again. Thank you for watching, and if you enjoyed this video, you will love this one.